Hello guys, welcome back to VC Tech. In today's video, we are going to build a network that includes 3 dedicated servers, a DHCP server, a DNS server, and also a web server. Each service will run on its own separate server, giving you a real-world understanding of how enterprise networks are designed for performance, security, and reliability. By the end of this video, you will understand how each of these servers work and why we separate them and how to configure them properly in a network. So with that being said, let's start our configuration. So for this device, let's label the devices. So this one will be serving as our DHCP server, while this will be serving as a DHCP server. Alright, this will be serving as our DNS. Let's configure that DNS, and this will be serving as our web server in the network. So let's label that to be the web server. We are going to start our configuration from our DHCP server. The DHCP server automatically assigns IP addresses and network setting to devices. DHCP server saves time, it also reduces error, and it makes network management easier, especially in a large environment. Now let's head over to our DHCP server and assign IP address to the DHCP server, and also configure DHCP service on the server. So this will be taking 10.5 for the DHCP server. We also want to assign our default gateway, which will be taking 10.1, and also our DNS server will be taking 10.2. So now we've assigned IP address to the DHCP server. Let's configure DHCP service on the DHCP server to assign IP address to host devices on the network. So after assigning IP address to the DHCP server, we are going to be moving to services on the DHCP server, and on the left side you're going to see a DHCP. You just click on it, and once you click on it, you're going to see this whole stuff that you can play around with. Now first, before we do anything, we have to power on the DHCP server because it's always off by default. And as you can see here, we have what is called a server pool. When we configured DHCP server on a router, we always talked about the pool name. So this is a pool name. For this, you can call this pool name whatever you want, but for this we'll be taking the server pool as it has. And also the default gateway is 10.1. we are going to set that, and also the DNS is 10.2. so we are also going to set 10.2 for the DNS server, and this is also the IP address of the DHCP server. And as you can see, it has 192.168.10.0. So what this means is it's going to start giving IP address from 10.1 because 1 is the next number. So you start giving IP address from 10.1. However, we want to exclude certain IP address from being assigned to host devices, because as you can see in this tutorial, we have 3 dedicated servers, and we do not want these servers to be changing IP address often. We want them to have a dedicated IP address that would not be changed. While the host devices, their IP address can be changed, no problem, but for the servers in the network, we do not want the IP address to change. So we are going to say we want this DHCP server to start assigning IP address to host devices from 10. When we configured DHCP server on a router, we did something we called IP exclude. So this is the same thing as IP exclude. We are excluding 10 IP address from being assigned to host devices on the network. Now this 512 is the maximum number of users in the network, which is too much for this tutorial. We'll just use 50, and By doing this, guys, we've configured DHCP service on the DHCP server. The next step to do is to save this configuration and close this. Now we are done with configuring DHCP service on the DHCP server. Next in our configuration is the DNS server. A DNS server converts domain name into IP addresses. Imagine without a DNS server, we would have to memorize every IP address of every website that we visit. DNS server makes this easy as it is the backbone of how devices find each other on the internet and inside a local area network. Now let's assign IP address to the DNS server, which this will be taking 192.168.10.2. You just have to copy that and assign the default gateway and also the DNS server. So we've assigned IP address to the DNS server. The next configuration in our network is the web server. A web server hosts websites, applications, and internal service. Whether you're running a company site or a local application, the web server is the platform that delivers content to the user. So if you want to access the website, you do that from the web server. Once it's being configured, you can access any website from the web server. So let's head over and assign IP address to the web server. Then we'll also go back to the DNS, where I will show you how we can access the web using the web server's IP address. So this will be taking 10.3 as the DNS took 10.2, the default gateway took 10.1, and the DHCP server took 10.5. And the default gateway for this is going to be 10.1, and also the DNS will be 10.2. Now we've configured IP address for the DHCP server, the DNS server, and also the web server. And on the left side of the services, we click on DNS because this is where we are going to be assigning the IP address and the domain name of the web server that we created in the network. Remember, a DNS server is like a phone book that has both IP address and domain name of websites that we want to visit. So for the name, we just put the name of the website, which is the domain name. For this is going to be taking tor.com, and the IP address for this is going to be the web server that we just created, which is 192.168.10.3. So after doing this, we click add. And we have our domain name and also the IP address that we can use to access the web server. Now we've configured the DHCP server, the DNS server, and also the web server in the network. Let's head over to the router and configure a default gateway to it. Then we try to ping and also try to access the web. So we say configure terminal, and we want to head over to interface gig 0/0. We want to say no short. We also want to assign IP address, which is 192.168.1.10.1, which is the default gateway of the network, to subnet mask of 255.0. We've assigned IP address to the default gateway on the router. We've also assigned IP address to the dedicated servers on the network. Now it's time for us to assign IP address to the host devices automatically from the DHCP server. So we go to the host PC and we click on DHCP, and as you can see, guys, we are able to get an IP address that is starting from 192.168.10.10. It also has a default gateway of 10.1 and a DNS server of 10.2. Let's also check for the second device. Then we are going to try to ping the servers on the network. 10 dot, no, this is going to be getting IP address automatically, so we just click on DHCP server, and this is getting the IP address of 10.11 with the same default gateway and DNS server. Now let's try to ping the DHCP server and also the DNS and the web server. So 192.168.10.2, this is the DNS server, and we are able to ping the DNS server. Now let's ping the web server. We are also able to ping the web server. Let's try to access the web server from the web browser. So what we do is we head over to the web browser, which is this service here, and we type in the IP address of the web server, and it is going to show us a basic configuration of a Cisco, which will be serving as our web server, and our web server has the IP address of 10.3. And so this is what you get when you use the IP address to access the web server on the network. This is how the configuration is done. Let's also check from this device. So let's check from this device, 192.168.10.3. We are also going to get the basic configuration of our web server that was created for us by Cisco Packet Tracer. So guys, this is how we configure a DHCP server, a dedicated DHCP server, and a dedicated DNS, and also a dedicated web service for an enterprise network. If this video helped you understand how to configure DHCP service on a DHCP server and also a DNS and a web service, why not give me a like and subscribe to this channel, so whenever there is a new update of networking videos, you're going to be the first to know. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.